1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
I'm a little sad that we don't get to go to Jaguars practice again until the end of July/early August. I've enjoyed these practices.
Yeah, it's always good or fun, I guess, to get out there and see the guys moving around and start seeing some of these new young pieces, or even some of the guys that return that we see, like a Trammell every year, who's just is always a big part of camp. It's kind of cool to see some of that all come together. But the good, positive part is once you get to this, you have this 6 weeks, and then it's go. Like your football's about ready to return by the time we're back. Yeah,
it goes by. The 5 weeks or 6 weeks you have off, it's like it flies by. But I mean, look, they're prepared. You know, they look like they're in good shape. Now that's one thing they got to do: stay healthy and stay in shape. Don't get out of shape because you're not around. You know,
and they'll be back on the field the rest of this week. We're just not able to go, but it is cool that Fred Taylor's going to come in and speak to them. Mercedes Lewis,
nice.
Liam Coen also said, good. And then today you saw Maurice Jones-Drew and the McCourty twins.
Yeah.
So they've gotten, a good rhythm, I feel like, in general of practice and good tempo every day that they've been out there. Last week was certainly more entertaining for us
for sure.
watching than the OTAs.
Yeah, and look, overall they've looked good during the offseason. I mean, everybody, as much as you can look good in these things, they've got good grades. You look at some guys, they've improved their game, you can tell. Like Brian Thomas looks like he's back. I thought Tootin really just sees the field very well, hits that hole with a nice burst. He's very confident. I'm looking forward to seeing how that running back whole thing works out. Trev was good.
I think that's how
Trev was good.
That's how you evaluate the OTAs, the mandatory minicamp. How does the quarterback look?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Because that's how BTJ is going to look good, or Parker Washington.
And you at this point in time too, you're looking at how they're running the offense and all of those things. Because last year, obviously, at this time, there was a lot of new things when it comes to the mechanical side of things for Trevor Lawrence and the footwork and the new playbook. And so it felt clunky last year at this point because there was so much information being brought in at the same time. And I know a lot of quarterbacks talk about it. Once you get that down, you can think a little bit more free and just take control of everything. And you could tell that part is already there, which is great. You'd also expect that if they weren't at that point, you'd be a little concerned as why, after a whole year under this offense, do you not have that comfort level? And I mean, obviously, the going into camp and stuff, training camp, once that comes here, we didn't get to see Travis Hunter participating. We didn't get to see Jordan Lewis and Chris Rodriguez and some of those guys. So there's even more pieces to look forward to as training camp comes that we didn't get to see that are going to be and should be major parts of this offense and defense here.
We haven't seen
Borkature. No, we've seen Kozio, though. He looks pretty darn good.
Looks great.
Tanner Kozio might be tight end 2 right now. And I know he's not because of where they drafted Borkature at 56 and things like that. But just as far as what we've seen on the field, he looks...
From a receiving threat,
from a receiving threat,
I mean, he looks like he's got everything you're looking for, especially that height and speed. That's a nice find if he ends up being... productive. I think he will be. I think they'll target him. But I thought overall it was good. Defense looks faster. They look a little bit, bigger and faster. A
little stronger, like you said. Yeah.
I think will a row and or Regis have the impact that we need them to have? That you can't say yes or no. We hope so. I would think so. I mean, that's why they're here, but. Until you get into those pads. Those are the guys you just don't know.
Yeah.
Armstead's shown it, so you're like, if he's healthy, he's going to be good. He looks healthy. He looks like he's in shape.
Whereas last training camp, he wasn't.
He wasn't even involved.
He and Mason Smith were off to the side.
That's right.
Deep into camp. Right.
Yep. So, it's, they look like a contending type, a contending type team. And look, they're going to have their hands full. They've got, they got a pretty decent division this year. I think, obviously Houston's going to be good. They're going to be good just like us. It's going to be, as long as both teams stay healthy, I think it's going to be a battle for first place. It's going to be a great battle.
Just like last year.
Just like last year, absolutely. I think Indy, depending on Daniel Jones, will be a little bit better. I don't know about Tennessee. I think it comes down to Cam Ward, but doesn't it always come down to that QB? But they've upgraded their roster.
New coach.
But, and now you were under the radar last year. 4-13 to 13-4. I mean, look, the Pats did it too. Like, they flopped it too. But nobody was really expecting the Jaguars to be a force last year. And they were. We were. I like to say we. But now the target's on you. So can you still be that force when nobody's looking, it's one thing. When everyone's expecting you now, like they expect you to be there, regardless of nobody respects us. Right? They expect you. They may not respect you, but they expect you to be there.
The Texans to win the division, as you look around the country. So they still have that. Yes, people know that they're a good football team, but you still have we're still being doubted.
Right. But in the other side of that, you could say, well, yeah, but they won a playoff game. You guys didn't.
Right.
They also won all these games in a row just like you. They just ended up one short. So I could see, why they're going to pick the Texans and what they did in the offseason. But it'll be a great one-on-one.
Yeah.
So they look like they're a contending team. You got to stay healthy. Got to get some key guys back. I'm expecting the offense. What were they averaging 30+ for a while at the end? I like what Leon says. He thinks, Trev's going to go scorched earth. I hope that. I don't know if I'm fully, like it's just going to start off like boom, boom, bang.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, pow. But, is it going to be in that kind of rhythm? Is it going to be that fluid, that smooth right off the bat? I hope it is. I think it might take a game or two for that to all settle down. But we'll see. We'll know more during when? Training camp.
Training
we'll
camp.
See how they perform against the different practices.
The joint practices, joints, I think, are the joints is what we're all looking forward to.
Yep. Yeah. See how they do there and then have a better idea of how they're going to roll into week 1 against Cleveland.
Yeah. Obviously, I feel like Trevor Lawrence struggles more like first quarter, and then he kind of like settles
Comes
in.
around, yeah.
So that's one thing. Yeah, I'm looking into that first quarter against the Browns. What does the offense look like? Obviously, this week, too, Liam told us they're going to focus on the passing attack.
Yep.
So my guess is when we first see the Jaguars take the field in September against the Browns, there's going to be a deep shot early in the game, whether it's to Brian Thomas Jr. or someone else.
Yeah.
But that's what I would expect.
Yeah, I think so too. And I heard Tony Smith talking about it during Jaguars Today because NFL.com had the article come out that was like defining numbers for each of the NFL teams this year. And the Jags number was 36. And that was because they had 36 drops last year, which led the NFL in the most drops. And so they kind of go on about how they have really good wide receivers that people like, and Brian Thomas Jr. And then now you're adding Travis Hunter back into that, obviously Parker and Jacoby and Brenton Strange and all of these pass catchers, but you can't drop almost 40 balls like that. It's hard to replicate what the offense was doing at times last year if you're doing that again. That's a lot of yardage loss. We've talked about the second most in the NFL when it comes to the amount of yards they lost to drops. That right there is the potential playoff win. You catch one more ball and how different can it look. And so that's one thing, and it's not new. The problem is since Trevor's got here, the drops have been the highest in the NFL, so that's something that's kind of hovered over them, and it did get a little better in the second half. And so that's even like, okay, well, you had 36 and it got a lot better once Jacoby Myers was here. So that's definitely a number, and they go through all of the teams in the NFL and the numbers that like kind of signify something that needs to improve or something that's just kind of like haunting over some of these teams, and that's a big one. I mean, we've talked about drops now for 5 years when it comes to Jacksonville, and that's something that you definitely want to see pretty much right away start to be eliminated, especially out of a guy like Brian Thomas Jr., who previous to that, the year before, you felt like was not dropping hardly anything, and then all of a sudden you've got 10 in the first half of the year, and that's just something that you do want to see change pretty quickly.
Well, I tell you this, he didn't have many drops at this camp. He did last year at this time. He looks pretty good. This drops are like it's how you define a drop. It's almost like pressures, like what's a real pressure, Because sometimes
this is according to Next Gen Stats, by the way.
What's that?
It's the Next Gen Stats number, so you'll go to different places, but that's theirs.
But is it hitting them in both hands? That's a drop.
Yeah, theirs categorized as hit the hands. The Next Gen Stat is hit 2 hands.
Okay, all of them, 2 hands. So 36 and 2 hands. I'd like to see all those. I don't remember. I remember some being a little bit high, a little bit wide, a little bit long, a little bit out of reach. I'd like to see those.
Probably 50 if you're including those.
Yeah.
I think drops are contagious just like catches can be contagious. And that's where this offense, Trevor Lawrence I don't think he trusted his guys to catch the ball at the beginning of the season. Because he put the ball, I mean, for instance, like the Bengals game, he put the ball right on De'Ami Brown. He put the ball right on Brian Thomas Jr. in that specific game. and they dropped those. And so as a quarterback, you've got a ton of play calls, right? You've got a new offense. You've got a ton of plays. It's still early in the season. That was week 2. You've redone your footwork, so you've completely flipped your hips. Then you've got an offensive line that he hadn't worked with Robert Hainsey outside of training camp, obviously, but you have a new center. Then you've got just all of that coming with pass rushers coming at you, right? Because Trey Hendrickson was on the Bengals at that point in time. So all of that has to work properly. Get good protection. You fire the ball to the receiver, they drop it. There's not a lot that's more deflating than that. Yeah. I mean, sacks are obviously deflating.
Yeah.
But when everything else goes right and all the person has to do, and this is what they're paid millions of dollars to do, and this is what they've done their whole life is catch the ball and it hits them on the hands. I mean, as a quarterback, you don't want to ever throw your guys under the bus, but it's like, I can only do so much. But then obviously he wasn't always hitting them in the chest because that's the same game where Liam was like, hit him in the chest.
Why is it up 5 feet above their head?
Right. So I think there's a lot that, as we always talk about with the timing, like there's a lot between Trevor and the receivers with timing. Too.
Yeah, I think look, 50, it's somewhere in the middle, right? Yeah. I mean, it's got to be in the right place at the right time. I think to defend the receivers over the years, I mean, now he's throwing it on time. He's putting it in the right spot. I don't know if they always knew where that football was going to be when they ran that route or when they expected the ball to be there. And it comes in hot as hell, and it's hard to catch that damn thing. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just saying, you see how the chemistry has gotten better. The timing's gotten better. When he throws, it's better. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just all come together in that last part of last year and through the remainder of his career. Getting hit in two hands, you got to catch the rock. There's no doubt about that. But there were others where, even catches, Strange used to have to look like Superman in the air, try to make a simple out catch. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's still a completion, but you're like, damn, bro, just put it on. Just put it on him. Like Liam was saying, just put it on him. But look, he's gotten a ton better. Yeah. What's got to get better, and that's what I want to see from the start, is how he ended. The completion percentage, the ratings were through the roof as he got through the second half of the season. Can he start that way? Because if he can, we're going to be a scary team early, especially if our defense comes around, which I feel like it's going to come around.
Absolutely.
I feel like that pass rush is going to come around for us.
Let's hear from Liam Coen on Trevor Lawrence. When we return, you are listening to Helmets and Heels. It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The #1 station for Gator Nation. 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL. Installed by Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
The Gator baseball team likely still sore over missing out on a Super Regional. Fired their pitching coach, David Kopp. Gator baseball coach Kevin O'Sullivan making the decision late last week after Florida gave up 26 total runs and back-to-back losses to Troy. The Florida football team picking up more commitments during this key summer stretch of visits, landing pledges from a half dozen recruits over the past couple of visit weekends.
Jeff Prosser here. When you need new windows or doors, you want high-end quality without the middleman markup, and that's why I'm telling you about Cash Building Material. Same premium materials, same beautiful finishes, but at a price that actually makes sense for your home. No subcontractors, no runaround, just their own experienced crews who treat your house like it's theirs. If you want it done right, the first time, get a quote today. Thank me tomorrow. For windows and doors, search Cash Building Material. Windows and doors done right.
It's a Helmets and Heels Big Chief Tire Monday.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Picket here for nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools, summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
Some auto shops call it an inspection and flag any little thing. That's called a wallet flush. At AA Automotive, they don't play that game. They fix only what needs fixing. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Boring name, awesome service, and no wallet flush.
If fishing is in your DNA, hop in the boat with Captain Kevin. It's the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Want to know when your body starts talking back on a golf course? Cart path only. Suddenly your ball is 80 yards across the fairway. You're hiking over there with 3 clubs, and by the time you get to it, You're not thinking birdie. You're wondering if the course has an urgent care, and that's the point. It's not just a scorecard, it's the whole day. Walking 18 without feeling like you're in a survival show. Bending down to read a putt without making that noise. Getting home and still having enough left for the kids, the yard, the cooler, all of it. That's why Awaken 180 makes sense. It's a medication-free solution with weekly weight loss, support, and yes, free support for life. You may not fix your slice overnight, but drop 30, 40, even 50 pounds, and the game, life after the game, feels better. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame. Make the call, 844-346-1800, or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
This Father's Day, get Dad on the water with Green Acres Sporting Goods. If he fishes in Northeast Florida, this is where he goes. Rods, reels, tackle, bait, and all the gear he actually uses. Not sure what to get Dad? Grab a Green Acres gift card in any amount and let him decide. Shop Father's Day at Green Acres Sporting Goods, in-store or online at greenacresporting.com.
ET here for Encore Research, and this summer, discover the power of research. Clinical studies are helping researchers find better ways to prevent, diagnose, and treat disease. And community members like you make it all possible. Your participation could help drive the next generation of healthcare discoveries. Find out how you can make a difference at EncoreDocs.com. Research moves forward because of volunteers like you. Let's build a healthier Jacksonville together.
Joe C here, and the XL Primetime crew will be live from the all-new Back Nine Golf Lakewood this Friday from noon to 2 at the corner of San Jose and Bay Meadows. Come see the facility, take some swings, and hang with us this Friday at the all-new Back Nine Lakewood.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Gang's all back together after you had Friday off. We had JJ LaSelva come in here, and for about 45 minutes, we did nothing but talk soccer. It was an absolute blast.
Did you laugh a lot? He's got the
we
best.
did laugh, but honestly,
I learned a lot.
Very informative.
Very good.
It was.
He's got the best laugh in all of radio.
He does. He does.
It is contagious.
But he had to, break down every team in the World Cup. I'm just kidding. We certainly talked a ton of World Cup, and we will talk some soccer today. We will also talk some NBA Finals. Don't you worry. But we're talking about the Jags, and we've got a good question from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. An opinionated question. Jacksonville better fix it because opponents are going to pin their ears back and bring it because defenses aren't going to respect their backfield. They're going to tell Trevor, let's see how accurate you can be when the blitz is brought because he doesn't have a check down running back anymore. So I guess not really a question, but
yeah. I don't know if that's totally true on the check down running back. I think he's got a couple. I think Tootin is showing he's got pretty soft hands. I got to see more, but it looks like it doesn't look clunky like it felt like a little bit last year. He's catching it smooth.
LaQuint Allen, I think,
he's natural.
Is a guy that was a steal to get him where the Jaguars drafted him last year. He and Foye Oluokun had a little, not spat today on the field, but LaQuint kind of upended Foye, and Foye was like not thrilled by that.
Get your hands up.
But also saw LaQuint Allen catch a touchdown pass today in the red zone. So that's also good. So again, I think he might be someone that we don't talk about enough. We talk about his feistiness, but as far as on the field, I think he's going to have a lot of productivity.
I think it comes down to, look, those kind of things, that's the pre-snap read that we believe Trevor's gotten really good at, right? That he can see what's coming and know where it's coming and where's that route that's going to beat that, that man-to-man coverage if that's what they're in or their zone. But you know where the blitz is coming, you figure it out, and you go to your hot read and that type of thing. So he should be better at that in this system. Again, back to your point before, he's learning all this stuff, and trying to fix things and trying to do it. That's just another wrinkle that you gotta figure out. But he should be a lot better at that going into the year.
Yeah, I mean, and you've said it many times, Tommy, when it comes to teams now, they do have that full year on Trevor and Liam and what this offense could look like. And there's not a whole lot of newness. I mean, you're getting Travis Hunter back, which you only saw the half a season, and then you lose Etienne and get Chris Rodriguez. But outside of that, it's a lot of returning, and obviously the two tight ends. and how much that will factor into it. But it still feels like you'll see a pretty similar offense. Maybe the ball spread around a little bit more because you'll have healthy guys and you've added a couple more tight ends. But it is how do they adjust now is going to be the big thing of how much can they. And I don't think we ever saw the full open playbook of Liam Coen because maybe glimpses down the stretch you were like, oh, this could start, this could be fun. But I don't think he was ever able to fully open it because the moment you felt like maybe those illegal formations and stuff like that started to settle down, Strange gets hurt and Travis gets hurt. And so you kind of had to battle things right when you felt like the offense was clicking in the sense of the creative side of what Liam Coen can do. And so I think there's a whole other level of this offense that Liam Cohen's going to be able to open up also.
And think about this. They only showed the media certain things.
Yeah.
And it's probably done on purpose. Like, hey, we don't want to give away because what they're working on in between when we're not out there, who knows? Like, they could be a whole new, wrinkle here, a little package here, something they just don't want out. And it can get leaked out. Nobody really means it. They're not doing it on purpose, but they see something like, holy cow. It was like at the, they showed it to the media. It was like at the first OTA. They showed up in that 12-13, and I told you it was interesting how they did it. I didn't want to tell you the play and how they lined up, but you're like, wow, that's really creative. You can see, okay, now I can see with that for me. But
because they have the personnel maybe more so now to do some of these things than a year ago.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, Liam, look, he got here, like we've said, first head coaching job.
Yeah.
What goes into that? There's also the addition of the personnel, and he and James Gladstone started working together.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd obviously
kind of late,
worked together previously, but right before the combine. You're not going to have everything that you want as far as personnel in your offense.
No, absolutely not. Because you're trying to keep it under wraps just like you were under wraps last year before you surprised the world, you know, and now you want to keep it that way, keep it close to the vest, show it when you have to show it, and practice it when you can. But I think that I don't blame them. I would do the same thing. Like, let's keep the limited eyes on my offense and defense, and what maybe there might be wrinkles in defense they don't want to show.
Sure.
Maybe personnel, different things. By the way, did you guys talk about it on Friday when Liam was talking about, I want to say, was it Durfee or was it Koziel? And he said, he's low-key athletic. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, my girls say that all the time. And I was like, I go, hey, girls, did you hear what Coach Coen? And they're like, I said, what? He said, I call him low-key athletic. They're like, no way. Did he really? I was like, yeah, it was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of interesting. He said it that way, but I think it was one of those two guys. But anyway, it was fun to see that. But yeah, if I'm him, look, he's going to have to come up with wrinkles because they do have you on film. Now, they don't have you on film with a lot of 12-13, right? You didn't do it that much last year, but you did it more with, an extra offensive lineman. So they got that on film.
Branson Combs is what he was talking about.
That's right.
Low-key, he's pretty athletic. He's explosive. He could do multiple different things in terms of coverage abilities, whether it's in man or zone. I like him in coverage. So,
yeah.
And
I like him in coverage,
Branson Combs, it's interesting watching his meteoric rise is what it feels like.
Here's what he's got to show, because if he ends up being just a regular contributor, right? So if he's going to play nickel, right, because he can cover. That's when he says, I like the way he covers. That means nickel, maybe dime, although Aluakin's got that single spot down. But let's just say in nickel, you got to be able to get to the running back in the run game when you're a linebacker nickel. And it's extremely hard when there's only 6 in the box, maybe 7, and they can go hat on hat. So he's got to show either one or two things. He's got to avoid those blocks and get to the back. Like, who cares? He just got to make the tackle, or show that he can get off blocks. Last year, now in limited fashion, okay, just to be clear here, him and Kaiser, I felt when they let him play later in the year, they both were getting swallowed up by guards and centers. They couldn't get off their blocks. And now that could be just not used to the speed. Yeah. It's different from college to pro, and those linemen come at you way quicker than they do for the most part in college. So a little bit different on that. Maybe not keying well enough, maybe getting a little excited and not, honing in on your technique. Because those guys, look, Branson Combs is like 230, right? 235 maybe? He's not small, but he's not big. And even big, look, Levon Kirkland, big, he could knock linemen around and nobody's going to mess with him. There are guys like that. But for the most part, these linemen get on you. You're not getting off them. You got to either avoid them or be able to knock them and get them off you as quick as you can. So he's got to show that, because if you're a liability and that, guess what they're going to do? They're going to run right at you. Yeah. And you can't have that happen when you go sub-package. Yeah,
the linebacker, I feel like, position battle is really interesting. I don't think that it's definitely Ventrell Miller's job, even though I'm assuming that's who will end up winning the job next to Foye, but I don't know that it's necessarily written in stone. I do think it's a true battle throughout training camp.
Well, I think you, if you put them side by side right now today, you'd say Ventrell's better against the run. Combs may cover just a tiny bit better, although I think he can cover very well. Blitzing, I don't know. That's one thing about Ventrell. I got to see more of. Can he beat that block? Devin beat it a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, the pressures, I know, but he had like 25 plus. You know, he always seemed to beat that block. It wasn't a problem. So we got to make sure, because when that guy, we talk about, like, when Campanile calls it, you got to win you got to beat the block. You can't get picked up. Like, you're the free blitzer. I don't care if you're safety, nickel, whatever, and you got one-on-one in that back. You got to either beat him with power or speed, quickness, jump over him, run him into the quarterback, whatever. You cannot get picked up, because when you do, you are screwing your defense big time. You are leaving them with one less guy in coverage, and you're like in space. Remember my linebacker coach, like, don't just stand there. That doesn't do anything. You get blocked at the 3-yard mark, and you can't get up. Like, you're not helping. You're not doing anything. You're not being productive. So that's how they're going to have to figure out. Can Combs show that he can play the run, and can Ventrell show that he can be a legitimate blitzer from that LB position?
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
That should be.
Yeah, earlier today, Liam Coen was asked about his quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, and if he's able to play a little bit more free in year 2.
He can kind of just go play, right? I mean, obviously, when we get into game planning, there's always going to be little tweaks and things that come up, but the meat and potatoes of the system, what we're hunting up, what we're looking for out of each play, he's got a very calm mind. I agree with that. He's able to just call a play, see it, visualize it, and then go and just play. And just go play. You're not thinking about your footwork. You're not thinking about, what is my footwork on this drop or on this concept? What is the difference in some of those drops? Look, we're still coaching it, absolutely. But he's got such a grasp for it that you're hopeful that it allows him to just go be him and go be the best version of himself, as we saw so much towards the back half of last year, and taking growth from that. Like, we should only be taking a lot of growth from that time.
By the way, year 2, obviously, in the system, not Trevor's second year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we talked about it. Like, when you have to think through everything, it just makes it more difficult, and you're not able to just play in that let her rip type of mentality, or let him rip.
All right, look, it's all preparation, right? If you don't prepare for this show, can you do a free-flowing show? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't do your homework.
There's still prep involved into it, no matter how comfortable you are.
Right, exactly. You're comfortable in front of a microphone. But if, let's say you don't watch a game or 3 games or whatever, you guys, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? You're not going to be yourself. You're not going to perform the way that you're supposed to perform. It's no different with a football player. What that tells me is that Trevor's just put in the extra work. It takes those quarterbacks, man. That's why it's the toughest job in the world, man. It's in football anyway, or in sports maybe not the toughest job in the world. I should take that back to all you doctors out there. But no, I mean, look, it takes that knowledge of knowing. His job is what? Know everything. What does that mean? Everything.
He has to know what the offensive linemen are doing, the receivers are doing, the tight ends are doing, the backs are doing.
Who's going to be open? What coverage they're in? Are they in man? Are they in zone? Are they coming? Are they faking? Are they disguising? Is that safety going to roll? Right before I snap, I'm looking at his foot. I'm seeing everything. Right. And by the way, within like a couple seconds, you got to figure this out.
Oh, yeah.
Before they come get you.
Yeah. Most defensive ends are getting there in less than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but he's gotten better at all that under the Coen.
Well, and that's why, we talk about the quarterback position in general. That's why they get a ton of credit when they play well, and they're also blamed very quickly, and that comes part of the difficulty of the job, because people are going to put a lot on you that maybe isn't always on you. We just had the conversation about the drops and other things, and I'm sure around the league they have these conversations. You have a Patrick Mahomes, and I feel like that's like the one outlier. Every other quarterback has gotten critiqued and criticized, no matter how many games they're winning, if they're injured or if they're not doing this well, or they have a couple of bad passes, or they can't win a playoff game. There's always this extra level of criticism and critique when it comes to the quarterbacks, no matter how good you are. And so that adds to this. And so I do think when you said, Lauren, a second ago about the personnel last year, and maybe having the personnel this year that fits better, they tried last year, it just didn't work. When you bring in a De'Ami Brown and you bring in a Hunter Long and Johnny Munt and you add that to Quentin Morris, like in their head, they thought they were bringing in these guys that they can run a Liam Coen offense, and it didn't work. So now they had to kind of revamp that a little bit. You get Jacoby Myers mid-season. That's almost a little bonus because you make that trade mid-season and then you're able to get a contract done with him. So you already have that piece in your pocket that obviously is very familiar and made this offense better immediately when he got here. But now they had more time this last offseason and more when you talk about preparation to be able to get ready to say what exactly fits this offense and what do we need. And so I think that's one of the important things. Last year it was a little rushed, but they didn't have much time to really fully sit there, not saying, because you had so many things to do. It's combine, it's draft, it's camp, and like they were here and 2 months later, that's what's happening. And so they did have this whole season to be like, okay, this is how we can improve next year. And then you have all of the off season now to get that together and to know what Trevor's good at. Like what type of receiver, what type of, do you need that yak guy? Do you need this? And so all those answers it's a little easier to answer those questions when you have the full season under your belt with it.
Yeah, and look, you never want to be robotic. If you're thinking too much, you're not going to play well. You got to be free. And you can only be free if you know what you're doing. If you've studied enough, and I don't mean just your playbook, but everything and your conditioning, you feel good. You go out there, everything should work out for you.
When Liam first got here, Trevor's shoulder was in a sling, right? Yeah. His arm was in a sling. He couldn't even have his quarterback throw a pass at that point in time when he first arrived at Jacksonville. And so to then put everything that they did on him, and also to then have a guy like Travis Hunter, think of all the reps that Trevor and Travis Hunter got last offseason, right? Like thousands of reps, and then all of a sudden he's gone. And you bring in Jacoby, but Jacoby's never played with Trevor Lawrence before, so it is unbelievable what they were able to accomplish when you take a step back and look at it where we sit here today.
Jacoby just being a true pro. Yeah, that's it.
They don't win 13 games without Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, no doubt. He's like, I don't care where I play. I'm a professional football player. What do you want me to do? Catch over the middle? No problem.
Right.
I'll go for it.
He wanted out of there anyways. So he's like,
now, though, he'd have Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah,
all right, it's a Big Chief Tire Monday. They've got the Extra Mile program. What you get, a free tire rotation with every visit after your tire purchase, $10 off every oil change every time, automatic enrollment at all 6 Jacksonville area Big Chief Tire locations. We keep Jacks Rollin.com. We will get to some NBA finals on the other side, also some soccer to come. Don't go anywhere. It's 10 to XL 92.5 FM.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Renovations are underway at the golf club at Southampton, but that doesn't mean you still can't come out and hone your game. The practice facility is open Tuesday through Sunday with a great membership offer to work on your game year-round. Log on to golfsouthampton.com or check out their Facebook page. Work on your tee game, iron play, shots around the green, and of course your putting. It's all there and a great way to stay fresh until they unveil fresh new greens in October. Check it all out at the golf club at Southampton. Call 287-PLAY.
I know how awful it is to get injured out there, but never due to someone else's negligence like many of you. Tom McManus here. If this speaks to you directly, you got to check out Morgan & Morgan, the largest personal injury law firm in the nation, 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered for all of their clients. And guess what? They don't get a single dime unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Now, that's hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect. Get paid. Dial pound law on your cell or check out forthepeople.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 1661781. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Big PY needs your help. After my life-changing car accident 2022, the Patrick Young Foundation was built to help individuals and families rebuild after spinal cord injuries through hope, encouragement, and real financial support. With Rep to Rise, we're challenging you to walk, run, lift, stretch, swim, and complete 629 minutes of movement during June. Join me Saturday, June 27th at Four Corners Park with First Coast CrossFit, and Sunday, June 28th at the Gym Jack. Go to py4foundation.org for the details. That's py4foundation.org.
Helmets and heels.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, pal. Where have you been?
Out on the town, every night.
Way to go, Tiger.
Well, it's a bit of a mystery, Jason. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm getting all these Visa gift cards in the mail. I'm spending them as fast as I can, but...
Wait, you're getting random gift cards in the mail?
$25, $100. I'm buying drinks, I'm buying dinner. I don't think I'm cut out to be a social butterfly, Jason.
Pal, those are from our Bueller Air and Plumbing referral program.
They are?
Yeah. If you recommend Bueller Air and Plumbing to a friend or family member and they book us for a service call, we send you a $25 Visa gift card as a thank you. And if we install a new system, we send a $100 gift card.
So if I take a girl out and tell her about Bueller, I might get enough to take another girl out and tell her about Bueller?
I mean, it's not the worst idea you've had.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Come over here, sit next to me. We can see where things go naturally.
Saturday night, the New York Knicks won the NBA Finals 94-90 over the Spurs. RJ, I'm going to go straight to you. Jalen Brunson, the best Knick of all time.
Certainly going to be in the top two. I would like to believe. I think depending on what side of the bed you wake up on, people may say Patrick Ewing.
Yep.
I think there are probably others that'll go further back than that, and may say Clyde Frazier is the best Knick of all time. But no, without a doubt, I think Jalen Brunson, just with the history, everything behind it, and just the run in which they went on, and him being able to lead it, I think without a doubt he's going to be on the Mount Rushmore. Whether he's number one, I think is kind of left up to conjecture.
Sure. And Mount Rushmore, I think, is a perfectly good place to be. 45 points in that game Saturday night. Okay, so I found this stat on ESPN Analytics. San Antonio Spurs, they had a 91.6% chance of winning game one when they were up 13 points midway through the third. 72.8% chance of winning game two, up 2 points with 1 minute left in the fourth. A 99.6% chance of winning game four, up 20 points with 9:33 left in the fourth. And then a 95.4% chance of winning game five, up 10 points with 7:54 left in the fourth. If you're a Spurs fan, like, we don't obviously have a huge San Antonio Spurs following around here. I can only imagine how you feel as a fan, as the coach, obviously, as one of those players. Like, this was your NBA Finals to win.
Yeah, it made me think about that because we've had a lot of those type of comebacks in football, for example, in the postseason, where we talk about the Falcons and the Patriots. That's one of the bigger ones that we talk about.
Don't go to
but
sleep
that's one
during
time.
sporting
You don't have
events.
to do it 4 times in one series. Like, your heart is broken 4 times, and it got to that point where watching that game, I was out at the beaches watching the game, and I don't know how, like, Knicks kind of became people's favorite. I don't know if it's a combination, if it's a bigger market team and Jalen Brunson's fun. I was expecting it to be a little more split just because because it is Wemby, but I feel like maybe some of like Wemby not making that shot at the end of the second game, I think it was, some of those things maybe started being like, well, the Knicks are electric. Like they just keep making these comebacks when people count them out.
And Wemby's so young that I think that's why people may eventually get on that train.
Yeah. And so that's, as I was watching, almost the entire place was rooting for the Knicks. This poor one Spurs fan was by himself and everybody's like cheering every time the Knicks scored. And I'm like, this guy's just also a real Spurs fan. So he's also probably like, shut up. Like, none of you guys even actually care about this. And I would have to watch my team watch my team lose.
Yep.
But yeah, it was, you look around and I'm just like, that the Knicks have that in their head where they were like, it doesn't matter how much we're down because we can come back and win. And you could tell they had that mentality. Anytime they went on, they're about to hit a run. And at one point in the fourth, it was like they 14-1 run or 14-2 run, something like that. And they just kept doing that. And if you can do that consistently, it's keeping you in these games. And that's exactly what happened. And Brunson just put, I felt like the ball was in his hands almost the entire time in the fourth quarter. Every time I looked up, I was like, Jalen just completely took this game. I was like, we're winning it. I don't care. We're going home with the trophy tonight.
He's a total stud.
Yeah.
I mean, playing in Atlanta Giants and what he can do with that basketball and all the points he scores. I tell you, game 4, the Spurs are kicking themselves. I mean, that second half was abysmal, up by a ton, and then you don't go inside. You keep hitting these long-range shots. You don't hit them, and then it just turns on you and forget about it. I thought it would come back to New York for game 6 and they'd win it there, but hats off to the Knicks, man. They got it done. They hit the shots when they had to hit them, and the Spurs didn't. So that's what it comes down to, doesn't it? In basketball, team hits shots, the other team doesn't, or you get the last possession or whatnot. But it was fun. It was fun to watch for a guy that doesn't watch a ton of NBA. I was definitely intrigued by the whole thing.
You texted us Saturday night at 11:15.
I know. I was at that party. I was at that. See, when I'm activated, like if the brain's activated, I can stay up. But if it ain't activated, forget it. But yeah, they had the game on, so it was fun. Yeah, Pinky. Here comes Pinky.
RJ, do you think that, because it did feel all of a sudden they're trying to make all of these threes and it felt like they skewed a little bit from the game plan of what worked. Do you think it was panic mode a little bit, or hey, we're gonna have to start hitting some of these threes if we want to win?
San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're talking about,
because Wemby went 1 for 6.
We're talking game 5?
Yeah.
If I'm San Antonio, I had Chucky Atkins talk about this, longtime NBA point guard. I think sometimes it was San Antonio looking at the clock, in Chucky's opinion, and it's just like, you're up 15, you go from being up 15 to like 10, and you still see there's time on the clock, and you're like, damn, I sure wish this game would end. And it felt like that. I mean, you had the game in hand there for the majority of even the fourth quarter. If you were San Antonio, I think, in my opinion, this is where, and Victor copped to it. He has to be able to put a bigger imprint on the game, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and I think he's going to try to gather information from a lot of guys who needed to be placed in that spot. I think he's going to have an incredible summer with Kevin Garnett if he so chooses to. As Kevin Garnett said, you don't come to me for the soft, you come to me for the base. So he'll probably go to the wax on that. And then I think I like Dylan Harper. I think you need also just kind of a point guard that understands time, score, and situation, and to be able to pull everybody back in and say, listen, this is what we're going to do for the next 5-minute stretch. I also think Wemby's probably going to have to get in better shape. I know that's a far cry for a guy who looks in great shape himself, but I don't know. Maybe go to California for a month and a half. Start running the dunes down there in Manhattan Beach. Throw up as you're going up there, and throw up on the way down and or whatever. But when you're in those situations again and you're in the fourth quarter, you're looking fresh. You're able to sit down for maybe up until the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. You're able to come in, you're able to finish the game. It just looked like a lot of times as a superstar player as Wemby is, he just wasn't able to finish those contests and just say, hey, give me the ball. I'm gonna lead us, all the way to the promised land.
He's like, I'm 7'4".
Yeah. There's a lot of body I have to work with there.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, Spurs fan in Jacksonville here. I am past sick. Between them and the Knowles, it's been a tough sports year.
Yeah.
I certainly understand that.
I can see that.
Another one from the text line, Bernard King is the GOAT of Knicks, followed by Frazier, then Brunson.
Bernard King, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him as a kid.
But yeah, I feel like there are people that got into the NBA this season, mainly the postseason, that was so incredibly exciting, right? Like, well, the Knicks kind of ran through after the Hawks, but the East. But when you have the Thunder and the Spurs going to Game 7 and with the stars now, I think there are people that now are going to continue watching.
Well, look, a lot of people
Maybe
love the underdog story, you know, and no one gave the East the chance. Remember, everyone's like, oh, the West's going to run away with it. You know, even before they started, San Antonio's probably going to wipe them, you know, kill them. And then here's New York, like, no, it's not happening
the
that way.
path was more difficult for the West, but that didn't mean that the Knicks were any less talented.
They were 3rd seed. Weren't they a 3 seed, the Knicks? Going in? 4 seed. I thought 3 or 4 seeds. So that's like,
I thought.
Yeah, summer 2021, whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like not many expected them to be there. You know, that's that whole, you know, us against the world type thing that Liam likes and that works, you know, especially everyone buys in and they're a heck of a basketball team, well coached, it looks like.
And firing your coach for the Knicks worked for them.
Yeah.
Right? Like sometimes that's what it takes.
You need that spark.
Yeah. Right. So I've been wondering, like, are the Spurs going to make a change, even though they obviously got to the finals, and I don't think they will, but nowadays it wouldn't shock me because of what we've seen transpire.
The city may or may not be standing still. I'm not sure as in New York.
Absolutely. All right, Tom's takeaways on the other side. Don't go anywhere. Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
We love winning, and 1010XL wants you to win our contests. We also like to share the winning. That's why we ask you to wait 30 days to win again so others get a chance to have the winning feeling. Find complete contest details at 1010XL.com.
What's happening, folks? It's your main man, E.T. And if you want to witness the world's biggest soccer tournament in person, look no further than Twin Peaks. Enter the Twin Peaks Go for Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos, and you could be one of 5 grand prize winners who gets the VIP treatment plus travel and lodging. For your chance to win unmatched views of the match, visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter and choose your host city. Entries close on June 14th, so don't wait. Twin Peaks. Eat, drinks, scenic views.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
You want to get a little action in the game as the World Cup is underway. You can go to Kalshi. It's the world's biggest soccer tournament. It's arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. You see, on Kalshi, you trade every match from the opening stage all the way through to the final. Let me tell you what to do. Go to KALSHI. I'm sure by now you've heard of Kalshi. But you can go through the exact procedures and how you can best maximize your ability to predict outcomes. So whether it is a specific match that you would like to invest in, or maybe it's who's going to win overall. With the percentages very easily explained, you'll have a financial stake in your predictive abilities. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house, and as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code 1010XL. You'll get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, KALSHI. Trade the beautiful game.
Lauren Brooks here. If you love your father or your husband, but their garage is a mess, I've got good news for you. Closets by Design's Father's Day sale is here. And remember, Father's Day is this Sunday. Imagine custom cabinets for tools and beach gear, storage walls that actually organize the chaos, and durable new garage flooring that makes the whole space feel brand new. It's the perfect gift for just about any dad. Right now, get 40% off plus an extra 15% off and free installation. Make an appointment today to see their garage showroom on Phillips Highway or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
Summer is made for road trips, beach days, and family vacations. Before you hit the road, make sure your vehicle is ready at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Their trusted technicians can handle your oil change, fluids, filters, and more, all while you stay comfortably in your vehicle. No appointment needed. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 quick lube for customer service by Forbes, it's easy to see why drivers choose Valvoline. Get road trip ready today at Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball at the newly renovated ViStar Ballpark is your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids around the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday. You can find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. And remember, every tire purchase at Big Chief Tire automatically enrolls you in the Extra Mile program. All right, time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes, protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial pound law. That's all.
Okay, my take today on this beautiful Monday afternoon. This is for all the old guys out there, because 237-year-olds did something awesome in sports yesterday. Did you guys know this?
Yes.
Or over the weekend?
Bud Colley.
Yep, I didn't mention that.
Oh, that's not one of them.
No, that's not one of them.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to add that. I'm going to talk about Jordan Stahl, who's the oldest Conn Smythe Award winner for the MVP of the Stanley Cup. Congratulations to Carolina getting it done, man. 3-0. They think they're going to win it next year already.
In the South.
No kidding. How about that? Unbelievable. And Justin Gaethje wins the UFC lightweight championship, defeating it. He's total underdog. This guy's 37 years old. If you've been following MMA, he's been fighting forever. He's one of the toughest sons of guns out there. He is now the UFC lightweight champ after defeating Ilia Topuria, who was a very battered and bruised young man. Holy cow.
Yeah,
Did he get
face.
he got
Oh
his
my
face
God.
carved up. No doubt about that. A fourth-round stoppage on the White House lawn, that is. So two old guys getting it done. I thought that was pretty cool to bring up, and that's my take, which means what? Hey, old guys, it's never too late to get it going, if you know what I mean. So pick it up and make something happen. That's my take today, brought to you by our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, and on your cell phone at Pound Law. That's all.
So Bud Colley's 36. I knew he was right around there. And
I missed that.
yeah, he competed in like 238 PGA Tour events before winning for the first time.
Oh, that's right.
Yesterday.
I saw that. That's right.
He had that car accident back, I think it was in 2018,
Right.
and then he ended up stepping away from golf for multiple years.
Yep.
And then came back, I want to say, in like 2024. I want to say he stopped around the COVID time and then came back to the game in 2024.
Fantastic.
So 239 starts. He had 238 without winning, and
Good
then
for
able
him.
to win yesterday. Just absolutely unbelievable. And now gets to play in the U.S. Open.
Yeah, how about that?
That's amazing.
That is fantastic.
And
What a
you know,
story
like
of
I always think about the
perseverance.
families, right? Like it's not just the athlete. I mean, they put in tons, thousands and thousands of hours.
Oh yeah.
But it's also the wife, the kids, right? Like the wife just, and I'm sure other people in the family too, but so supportive. Like you got this, you got this. Because remember, as we all know, golfers are coming out of their own pocket in order to play in these PGA Tour events, and they only make money if they make a cut. And then
For the record, most are probably going, you got this, and then there's some like, maybe you should just hang it up, maybe you should just hang it up.
Sure. Yeah,
maybe you
it's
should just
probably
forget
time.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and he's fighting that too, man. So congrats for having the grit and sticking it
Yeah.
out.
And from here too,
Phenomenal.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's super
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the UFC, I'm not a big UFC watcher, but that whole event was
Yeah.
incredible. Like
It
from
was.
start to finish, the way they planned everything out, it looked so cool. Everyone was leaning so hard into like the patriotic side of thing. And I think it's fun because you have USA men's soccer that just won. So everyone's like hyped off of that
Yeah.
already. And they're like, it's
Yeah.
just, it was something special.
Did
But
you
yeah, that
see,
guy's, I couldn't even look at his face.
Oh,
at
his
the
face
end.
was bad.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's. I'm not a huge like. I don't know. I'm from the '80s where you punch someone, they go down, and if they get back up, you fight them again, but you don't jump on them and beat them
Just
up
keep
really too
punching
bad.
their face.
Yeah, you leave them alone after a little while. But whatever that is, the sport.
Yeah.
How about
I mean,
Sean
they're-
O'Malley? Did you see him? He
Oh, yeah,
knocks
yeah.
this guy out before he hits the ground. He
Salutes Trump, right?
President Trump.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Before the
pretty
guy hits the
funny.
mat, he's
Yeah.
like still falling to the mat.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Those guys, I tell you what, those. MMA, any of that, jiu-jitsu, you guys, they're just, that's tough.
It's a different breed of
different,
person, for sure.
Yeah, no
I was
doubt.
not watching UFC, but I was watching the World Cup. And we saw our guy, Jan Diamande. There we go. Jan Diamande.
The Yuli guy.
He didn't score a goal, but his team, Ivory Coast, did win. Yeah, he played at Yuli. I always want to add an R in there, Diamande, but it's Diamande. But yeah, that was super cool as Ivory Coast
absolutely.
won. All right, more soccer to get to on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010X on 92.5 FM.
And I think to myself,
Are you?
This is 1010XL.
oh, what a wonderful world.
Hey, it's Joe C. Wingstop just dropped the boneless meal deal for two. 20 boneless wings, choice of 4 flavors, a large fry, and 2 dips. All for only $16.99. Limited time. And while you're crushing that deal, get in the Club Wingstop loyalty program. 10 points for every single dollar you spend. Sign up now at 1010XL.com/Wingstop. I'm locked in. You need to be too. Wingstop, baby. Get the deal and get in the club. Bonus meal deal for 2 and Club Wingstop. Limited time only at Wingstop.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Listening that fits your schedule perfectly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live show's end.
How about that? Channel by
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. Wait, is that Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho, you think Brazil will win it all this summer?
Claro que sí. Can I just say, you're my favorite player, ever.
Bet all of soccer's biggest matches this summer on Hard Rock Bet. And keep your cool in case you run into Ronaldinho. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and back your country. Roll with us. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you own or manage a commercial property or HOA, one backup can quickly turn into a flooded parking lot and costly damage. Duck Rooter's VACCon team brings the equipment and experience to get the job done right. Right now, get $250 off VACCon service and make sure your storm drains are ready for heavy rain. Keep water moving where it should, away from your property.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Summer is finally here, and it's time to take advantage of Zero Res's best deal of the summer. Hicken here. Don't let rising gas prices stop you from having a clean and healthy home. Zero Res is keeping comfortable affordable with a powerful cleaning at a price families can feel good about. Zero Res can handle every surface in your home. Carpets, tile, grout, hardwood, laminate, upholstery, rugs, air ducts, and more. Take 25% off all services except air duct cleaning. That's $5.99 per system for air duct cleaning. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special.
Hey, it's Greg, and here at 1010XL, we talk about our specific professional goals. In personal life, most goals people have a pretty clear course. Say, I want a trip to Chicago, so you read a couple reviews, talk to some friends, save up some money, and book it. Maybe adjust, but overall, it's a specific plan to reach that goal. So now if your goal is to lose 40 or 50 pounds, where's the specific clear path? Maybe read reviews, talk with a few friends, and try something out. And when it doesn't work, you're disappointed. We've all been there, and it stinks. You know what Yoda said? Try not. There is no try. So do what I did and start doing. Reach your weight loss goal with Awaken 180. It's a clear course to success without the frustration. No guesswork, no trial and error, and no medication side effects. I'm proof. I dropped over 22 pounds already my first month, and it was simple. A word never associated with weight loss, except when referring to Awaken 180. Choose the simple, clear course to success with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
When the world turns its attention to the beautiful game, the most passionate fans know the best seat in the house isn't always in the stadium. Modelo celebrates football and the world of nations playing for the cup. 48 teams, 104 games. Wherever you choose to watch, make it the best seat in the house with a Modelo Especial in hand. It's time to play for the World Cup.
I'm Chris Wayne with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Awaken 180. Both the NHL and NBA crowned champions over the weekend. As you heard on 1010 AM, the Carolina Hurricanes took the Stanley Cup Sunday by winning 3 straight over the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And the New York Knicks won their first NBA title in 73 years, defeating the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games. It's 92 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Welcome back to a Big Chief Tire Monday. Taylor Dahl is here. Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Tom is back from a day off. How was the family weekend?
It was great. We drove to Dauphin Island. I don't know why they just don't call it Dolphin, but I think that's how they pronounce it over there. Dolphin.
Dauphin. Dauphin.
Yes. But it's funny. So the town sign says Dauphin Island, but with 2 dolphins.
You're like, just name it Dolphin.
But I guess that's how they pronounce it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like felt like the Keys a little bit, although the water's not clear like that.
Right.
We've been to Mobile Bay, so like Daphne or Fairhope, it's kind of a little bit like that. Yeah, it was cool. It was great.
So where
to see.
is it?
So if you go I-10 all the way to Mobile,
okay,
and then go south, basically, it's basically their island getaway from that area, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, we never made it to the ocean because it was right there. We just the house was on the bay side. Actually, it was on the Mississippi Sound side. So we were in the Mississippi Sound, I guess. Anyway, yeah, it was great. Great to see family. My wife and I's niece, her sister's daughter, getting married out in Vegas in October. And they had their wedding shower, her and her husband to be. And
so it was a couple's shower.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of MMA, I found out he's a blue or purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
And he's always been into it. And yeah, really nice guy named Florin. How about that? Florin. Florin.
Okay.
Really cool guy. Yeah, yeah.
That reminds me of Folarin, who plays for the United States men's national team.
You know what? I thought it's so funny you mentioned that because when I saw that he scored 2 goals first time since night, whatever, and I said to Florin, I said, "Is that is your name maybe from that?" And he's like, "No, that's a weird name." I was like, "Okay, whatever."
Trying to connect it.
Yeah, I thought
you just scored a couple goals.
Yeah, he scored a couple goals. Maybe run with it.
Well, Larry Ballaghan is amazing.
We had a great time. Me and the girls, let me tell you something. So my wife and in-laws drove over the night before. It was me and my 3 daughters Friday. They are a riot. Oh my gosh. That was laughing so much. They give each other so much stuff. It's so much fun. We're playing music, telling jokes. They're yelling at each other. They're making fun of each other. I'm just like, you guys keep me entertained this whole trip. Yeah,
it was
a lot of fun. We had a blast.
That I-10 ride can seem very, very long at
when
times.
Tallahassee's a landmark, you're in trouble. Let me tell you something. My gosh.
And then
at least it's got hills.
Then another several hours after, like it feels like from Jacksonville to Tallahassee takes forever.
Yeah.
And then you add to that, for sure.
You know, and I'll be listen. You know, I don't like to speed. I just get bored out there, so I feel like I gotta speed. And I was fine. You know, I didn't go anything too crazy, but I feel like no matter how fast you go, it's still the same damn time.
Yeah.
You can't beat the time, and it drives me insane. Like I can get there. If you get there under 6, you're making good time. You know, it's hard to get under 6. I've done it like maybe once in all these years. So hard. And I try to get. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I try to do it every time. Like I'm beating Sam.
But you're not.
But I never do. You never do.
I don't ever like to look at that original time that, the ETA is, because at some point, inevitably, you're going to stop.
Right.
Or there's going to be traffic. And so then you feel like you're losing life. But my brother played soccer at West Florida his first 2 years in college before he transferred to Florida. And then he played club soccer. So my dad would go over for his soccer
Is that
games.
Pensacola?
Yes, in Pensacola. And so he made that trip so many times those 2 years, and I
That's
was like,
cool. It's cool how you come in over the water. That's kind of neat. It looks pretty. I've
Yeah,
never
it's
been to
gorgeous over there. Yeah.
Yeah, the beaches
but
over
it
there.
does take forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we
does.
had a family reunion up in Georgia, Darien, Georgia, which is a super cute town right on the river, and lots of like old buildings, and so like the architecture was cool. They had tabby ruins, which I found also interesting. And then we had the actual reunion up at a clubhouse that my family in their neighborhood, which was like 27 miles north of Darien, but out in the woods.
Wow.
It's called like Harris Neck Island Refuge, like Wildlife Refuge. And so they were telling us about the
All the
alligators,
creatures they see out there.
Yes. And even in Darien at the hotel Sunday morning, we were walking around and we saw an alligator in the water right there. Not huge by any means. But we did see an alligator. And so then we got home and found out our air conditioning was broken. So
terrible.
Thank you, Duval Air Conditioning.
There
I've been
you
at the
go.
house all day replacing that. I hope when I get home there will be air conditioning because June is a rough time to not have it.
It's hot. It was really hot over there, and normally we get their weather, you know, and we're saying like, oh, it's coming to Jacksonville because it was blazing hot over there.
Yeah.
Not much breeze either.
And it was warm this morning at practice, I'd say, too, especially for the ones that are actually doing the competition. All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
All right, in the world of college baseball right now, Texas is beating Alabama 3-0, and that is important because that is an elimination
Oh, it
game.
is? Okay.
It is. So
Wow.
Ole Miss has already been eliminated from the College
Saw
World
that.
Series. So if Alabama loses, and it's still early in the game, but if Alabama loses, then that game just started an hour ago. I take it back. It's now 5-1. I had to refresh. And it's just the bottom of the second. So still a long time to go, and Texas must have just had a 2-run home run. It's now 7-1.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Well.
Sorry, all you Alabama Crimson
Bye,
Tide fans out there, but again, it is still very early. It is 7-1, and we'll ask Taylor to give us a College World Series Jello shot update here momentarily. But I did want to mention that North Carolina beat West Virginia 5-2 yesterday. So tomorrow we have West Virginia versus Troy at 1 p.m.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Absolutely, we'll watch that one while we're in here, and then Georgia Oklahoma is tonight at 7 p.m.
Okay.
So good stuff there
Yep.
in the College World Series.
Troy keeps moving along, huh?
Troy does, yeah.
Yeah, how about it?
Those same guys that played really well against Florida, and then obviously also really well against Little
Yeah,
Rock, they're
they got
doing
the
really well.
bats.
And I saw Kevin Colgett and Rocco's their team posted that they think they can beat their all-time total this year. That they're on track to beat not just one team total, but the all-time total, which was like.
Yep.
I think 100,000 shots or Jello shots.
Yeah,
something
So
like
many
that.
Jello shots.
So many.
Tommy said, "Is there liquor in these?"
The answer is yes.
That's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of
Holy
shots.
cow.
All right, now let's get it to soccer on Friday night. It was the 7th largest crowd to ever watch the U.S. men's national
How about
team
that?
play in a
Man.
World Cup game. It was the largest since 1994. And again, the cool
Okay.
part for me, my brother got to be at the game with his two buddies, Matt and Pablo, and my dad was at the World Cup in 1994 in Dallas. So
Oh, cool.
a cool little tie there.
Yeah.
And yeah, scoring the most goals in program history in a World Cup match was cool. That's not the coolest part. But let's hear, RJ, what those goals sounded like as U.S. beat Paraguay 4-1.
Christian Pulisic on the ball now, draws the double team, splits the double team, Pulisic in the box, Weston McKennie into the middle, it's an own goal! It's the United States on the board, less than 7 minutes in! Great ball by Robinson for Pulisic on the run, Pulisic trying to cut it back, it's Balogun! That time it's in! That time the flag is staying down! That time it's 2-0 United States!
As you said, appreciated by the fans. Right below us, Mauricio Pochettino.
Balogun, can it get inside? Still Balogun, Flo Balogun! Freeman, Weah, Freeman, Gio Reyna,
This might be one of the best back-to-front team goals this country and this team has ever put together.
People are so cynical about the U.S. men's national team,
They
right?
are,
Because they've seen this squad not make the World Cup. The style of play was so incredibly impressive. Pochettino and what he's brought with these guys. I mean, Pulisic, if you watched the game Friday night and you didn't know who Pulisic was, you know who he is now. And I, like we talked about with JJ on Friday, I think that's the American player that most people were most familiar with because we've known about him for a long time now. He's been a famous soccer player in the United States now for over 10 years. We knew he went and played overseas. He's played at a high level, but so many other guys stepped up too. And just their attacking style of play. Brad and I were sitting on the couch Friday night, sitting except for the goals when we were standing and jumping and running around. It was like, I haven't seen a U.S. team play like this maybe ever, but it's certainly not for a very long time. So confident, like they knew where each other was going to be the entire time. And that takes obviously a lot of training and effort. But I was blown away, and I'm so excited for Friday at 3 o'clock when we'll be at Mr. Chubby's in Ponte Vedra. If you want to see a stressed Lauren, come watch. I will be very stressed.
Yeah, Hacker was there on Friday, and he said it was packed. So expecting that, but yeah, it's so much fun. That's what we were talking about it a little bit on Friday, Tommy. I was like, in 6 months, I guess 5 months span, we've been able to cheer for USA hockey, USA baseball, and then now USA men's, the national team, which I think is just really cool. But I do, because JJ was talking a lot. He broke down a lot of the pieces of the USA team and some of the strengths, weaknesses, and one of his things was like, they can score, just defensively there's some concerns, and I feel like even that when you're watching a game, and I'm not obviously in depth to where I can tell you all the things they're doing right and wrong defensively, but when you're able to shut someone out, I feel like that's positive in the light of a
one
goal.
Oh
the one, yeah.
But the defense, Chris Richards playing in this game, so he had been out with an ankle injury, and so he was able to, he didn't play against Germany when the United States lost to Germany in that friendly. He was a massive help, and every single pass he had was complete. We talk about that for quarterbacks, 100% completion percentage. But to complete, I think it was over 83 passes. Wow. Every single one was complete. So that means they were able to control the time of possession. And that we knew that going in, that would be massive.
I tell you what, hearing the crowd, that I could listen to that all day long.
Oh, yeah, me too.
That always brings a smile. The men for so long to me took a back seat to the ladies. The ladies were it. I mean, Mia Hamm. I know every man out there wishes she was the one that took her shirt off instead of the other one. That's okay. But the women were always talked about ahead of the men in U.S. soccer.
Because the
US 94 was big though. That was Lamas and those guys, right? Or did I pronounce
Lawless?
that right? Lawless, Alexi Lawless. That was at that. I remember that. They were pretty popular.
Yeah, that was. But the U.S. put more resources into women's soccer than other countries put into women's soccer back then. So that's why in '99, that's why the United States started a run there of being really, really good.
Because the competition wasn't?
Right. Other countries weren't putting as much into their women's programs.
So it was kind of their paper champions? Is that what we're talking about?
No, not paper champions, but...
They fighting tomato cans? What are we talking about?
It wasn't an equal, our females back then could have a full-time job as a soccer player, a professional soccer player. In other countries, it wasn't like that in the late 80s, early 90s. Because again, that just wasn't a focus. Women's sports have always been more of a focus in the United States than other countries until recently, and now you're starting to see other countries do that.
Interesting.
Would you say that in opposite of the men's though? And obviously we put a lot of resources here, but there's other countries that put a lot more resources into their men's team, and that football is their thing.
Yeah, I think the difference to me is not so much the resources as it is those kids have a ball at their feet from the time they're little, and every other person that they know is also playing soccer. So every moment of their life, they're surrounded by the sport, they're surrounded by the game, and it's a game that you have to learn by playing, other elite competition. And if you grow up in America, you're not going to have elite competition. At the youth level, it's gotten a lot better. Yeah. But you go to Spain or Germany, which by the way, Spain and Cape Verde tied 0-0, which is
crazy.
Wild. Spain is certainly one of the favorites to come into this tournament.
What a buzzkill that is.
Well,
I was saying
unless you're Cape Verde.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. The FIFA ranking, Spain is 4th, and then Cape Verde is 70th.
Oh, wow.
So crazy.
We'll give it to them.
Spain's really good. Mexico, one of the host countries, they beat South Africa to kick things off when we were at Lynch's 2-0. Canada tied 1-1 with Bosnia-Herzegovina, another of the host countries. Germany beat Curacao yesterday 7-1.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, impressive. And then I mentioned Jan Diamande with Ivory Coast. They won 1-0 over Ecuador. Australia beat Turkey Turkey. Those are the other two teams in the United States group, Australia and Turkey. Australia won 2-0 Saturday. So again, Friday, 3 p.m., USA, Australia. And then the other game in our group, Turkey, Paraguay, will be Friday at 11 p.m.
Okay.
So don't expect to sleep if you want to watch a ton of the World
That's
Cup
right.
over the next few weeks. But it's super good stuff. All right, more to do on the other side. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on a Big Chief Tire Monday, 10 to Nix on 92.5 FM.
Wonder what Jeff Prosser would be doing if he wasn't on 1010XL?
Came out here, city slickers. You're gonna go home, cowboy.
Jeff Prosser.
Must be the fastest gun in the West.
Mornings on 1010XL.
That or the biggest liar.
This World Cup soccer update is laced up by Valvoline Instant Oil Changes and Houston's Meats.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. A shocker in Atlanta. Cape Verde, a nation of 10 islands off the coast of West Africa, in their World Cup debut, stunned the defending European champion Spain with the scoreless draw earlier today, beginning Group G play. Cape Verde goalkeeper Vozinha was the star, the 40-year-old, with 7 saves to preserve the point. Kicking off right now in Seattle, it is Group G action between Belgium and Egypt. Liverpool legend Mohamed Salah leading the way for the Pharaohs with 67 career international goals. Salah is 2 goals away from the all-time Egyptian record as he takes the field today on his 34th birthday, hoping to lead Egypt to its first ever win in this tournament. Egypt faces a Belgium squad that comes into the tournament with an extremely talented group that is considered the favorite in Group G. I'm Lucas Panzica, Westwood One Sports.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Rain on game day doesn't faze Dave. He's already got his poncho. Just needs to do something about those wipers. So Dave heads to AutoZone,
Welcome to AutoZone.
where a friendly AutoZoner helps him get premium quiet wipers and some hand warmers.
You're all set.
Now, if only his team can handle the elements as well as his new wipers. Get wipers, glass cleaner, and more with no hassles, just help at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Summer's here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your backyard with Superior Fence and Rail. Get the fence you've been wanting with 12 months financing and no interest, so you can enjoy more privacy, more security, and more curb appeal without the upfront stress. Make your outdoor space ready for summer. You must have credit approval from our third-party financial institution. Call today or visit SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. Big Chief Tire Monday on Helmets and Heels.
Homeowners running out of space in your kitchen, closets bursting at the seams, or maybe your bathroom just feels outdated and cluttered. At Harvest Construction and Remodeling, custom cabinets are what they do best. Owner Scott spent years as the main cabinet installer for one of the region's largest big box retailers. As a family man growing his own business, he brings that experience directly to homeowners like you. They'll create beautiful storage solutions that improve look, feel, and function. Visit harvestrenovations.com.
License number CRC 1331012.
The boys are back in the kitchen.
Don't start the barbecue without me.
Joe, Matt, and Leon give you plenty to chew on during lunchtime. Freshly baked bread from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Thank you for lunch, boys.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Hey, Guggens, Hicken here. You want to win wings from Mr. Chubby's or tacos from Taco Lou?
How about some chocolate from Peterbrooke? All we need you to do is tell us more about you by filling out the 1010 listener survey at 1010XL.com. What kind of vehicles do you drive? Are you a business owner? What part of 1010XL do you like the most? We want to get to know you better so we can serve you better. Go to 1010XL.com, fill out the survey, and you could be a winner.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farrah doesn't flinch.
We learned a lot from the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, 904-641-1010 if y'all want to get in on the action. I'm going to believe that this is correct. Dauphin is actually a French word that means heir to the throne, so Dauphin Island is not named for dolphins. It's the result of the area's French heritage. Beautiful place, used to live in Mobile and went down there quite often.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you got dolphins on the sign. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally
confuse
understand.
people.
Understandable. I love watching dolphins in the water. Like, if ever we're on a boat or at the ocean, I love that. And then shout out to Roger from Palm Coast. He grew up in Harris Neck.
Wow.
Like a really small place and such a coincidence.
Yeah.
He said went to school in Darien. He didn't feel like it was that glamorous of a place growing up. But I feel like
I can see that.
It's also some people don't want to grow up in a small town because they feel like they're missing out on stuff. And then the older you get, you're like, oh, wow, I actually love this slow, charming little place that I get to call home.
Mm-hmm.
It's very gossipy. My cousin lives in a very small town, and growing up, it was all because everyone knows everybody and everybody's related in some way. And she dated a cousin in high school because she didn't know it was a cousin. And it was like, so that's in the Panhandle.
Way back when they were it should always be like that. You see everybody.
Yep.
You know, everywhere you went out, you saw the same people.
Well, that's the crazy. Like, we live in a very big, as in obviously landmass, we know that, but like a big city, and you still go places that someone knows someone who knows someone. And like, so if you have that in Jacksonville where there's millions of people, those small towns are dealing with it at a whole other level. But it is nice for little getaways.
Yeah. And thanks for listening.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to all of you who listen. All right, we talked about the NBA Finals earlier. We didn't get to hear from Mike Breen with that final call as the Knicks beat the Spurs 94-90. So hit it, RJ.
Fox, 5 seconds remaining. Fox to Wemby. Wemby tries a three, puts it up, off the mark. Anunoby the rebound. It's over. It's over. Knicks fans, this is not a dream. Your long, long wait has ended. Go ahead and cry. After 53 years, the Knicks are finally NBA champions once again.
Yeah.
It's not a dream.
Go ahead and cry.
It's not a dream, though.
I love
lots of tears, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that's
and
a
I
long
love
time.
watching the Knicks fans that did go to San Antonio because, I mean, obviously, someone like the famous actor Timothy Chalamet, like he has the money to be able to do that. But to be like an average
fan being able
Knicks
to do
fan,
that,
especially if you live in the state of Texas, like we got to get to that game. And no one ever talked about how expensive or inexpensive those tickets were for Game 5 on Saturday night.
Yeah, right. Comparable to what
comparable
it was
to
like
the $100,000 ones in New York.
Holy moly.
Exactly. And then also the Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup last night. Let's hear Sean McDonough's call.
What a deserving Stanley Cup champion the Carolina Hurricanes are. One of the best teams in the regular season and a brilliant playoff performance. And they're going to clinch it appropriately with a total team effort and a shutout. The Carolina Hurricanes have won the Stanley Cup for the second in time.
Those games were so good until that one last night. 3-0.
Oh, I know that whole series was insane, but it almost gave me kind of similar vibes, and I know the Knicks still had to come back, but it felt like the Hurricanes were like, we're winning this.
Yeah,
like
destined.
it just felt from the beginning, even, I mean, obviously they win 3-0 every other game before that. Someone was coming back down 2 goals, like multiple games they came back down 2 goals. There was tons of goals in all of the games, and all of a sudden it's a 3-0 shutout, and you're like, all right, they were at everything that carried on. He talked about they're one of the better teams throughout the regular season, and it just continued throughout the postseason. So good for them. I feel like the Vegas Golden Knights have a recent one, and then you get back. So it's still really exciting for those fans. We were talking to Jared Justice, one of the newer guys who now produces the Hacker and Belush show late at night, but he came from Vegas, and he was like, it's a night city in Vegas. Like they're not talking about the Raiders. They're talking about the Knights, and that's what it is, because when you have a team like this who initially in your debut season you go to the Cup and then you're back there a couple years later, it's exciting. It keeps fans interesting. I've heard they're a great time. I didn't get to go, but we went to Vegas 3 times in a year, and everybody's like, you should go to a Knights game. It's a blast. Yeah, get some coldness in there. Yeah, especially summertime.
I'll tell you what, basketball too, NBA, NHL. I mean, to win all those 7-game series, man, that's long. I mean, after you play 82, and then you got. What do you got to win 16? I think you got to win 16 games to win the whole thing 4 times, right?
NBA,
yeah. Same. I think it's the same.
Well, and some you got the play-in, so some teams are even having to win play-in games.
That's a long playoff.
Then think about baseball.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah,
same,
got 162 games and then keep going.
And then
that's one of the things. I saw an interview with Kachuk, and they were asking him what was more enjoyable when the USA men's hockey winning or winning the Stanley Cup. And he was like, it's kind of hard. Like, obviously they're both incredible experiences. And he was like, but the Stanley Cup is a whole other, your body is just in pieces by the end of this, because I mean, you're nonstop, you're beating each other up for already 80 plus games. And then you get into the postseason, and depending how long those series go, by the end, your body is just falling apart. So he's like, you feel like you went to war by the end of it to win this, to be able to lift the cup. And so he's like, that is just a little bit of a different feeling because you put so much work in all of
Rick
that.
Wilkins, our baseball friend, friend, he's like, man, baseball too, like towards the end, man, your legs are cooked.
Yeah.
And not just because you play catcher, just playing game after game after game. He's like, man, you really fatigued, tired. You just got to find a way to do it.
It's why load management has become popular in these sports, because the guys are trying to save their legs for the most important time, which is the postseason, which is understandable. All right, I want to go back to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, talked earlier today, and I thought this question and answer were really interesting. Here's Trevor on throwing the dagger route.
The timing is something that I feel really comfortable with all of our guys. We got a lot of guys that can rip in the middle of the field, trust them to come flat and show up on time. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, is trusting guys to get in that zone. And I feel like obviously there's certain coverages where they take it away, but in my opinion, there's not many. I feel like if we're on time, I throw it early. I know where the window is. I know guys are going to get there. I think I can, cut it loose in almost every look. So we have a lot of confidence throwing that. Guys running it. Guys like running that and know I'm going to put it there on time. So I think that's something we continue to develop and build off of. Obviously, you got to have compliments, because I think teams know that's something that we do well, but going to continue to build on that. And that's, of course, going to be a big part of our offense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he does. I think that's his best throw, inside the numbers, down the middle, any level. I think those are his best throws. The dig route, they're calling it a dagger, but when he says flatten it out, that's a dig. It's a deep throw over the middle. You look like you're going post, you're going deep, and then you flatten it out, and you should be open. And he throws it perfect. I mean, that to me has always been one of his better throws, if not his best throw. So it's a catchable ball. It's like, you're coming across.
Yeah.
You should, on that. Now he's got to throw it on time. So that backside safety ain't sitting there ready to kill you or pick it off.
Which has been an issue.
It has been in the past. It has. Was an issue in the Bills game.
Yeah.
Went back to that, but we got to get over. Make sure we don't go back to that bad habit.
But
if you throw it early enough, you shouldn't. That shouldn't happen.
Right. I like that he acknowledged, though, Taylor, that other teams know that they're good at that, right? Like they are well aware of that, but that means they have to perfect it because teams know that that's something that's their bread and butter.
Yeah, and that's part of when you talk about film study forever, that's part of it. But then now we have analytics on every single thing. So these teams are getting like, hey, this is Trevor, how often he throws to this spot. Here's the completion percentage. Here's how some teams have figured out how to stop him or where they've struggled. And so you get all of these numbers now, and that's what we kind of make fun of at times, the analytics, to like, go for it, like, whatever percentage, go for it, or go whatever the case may be. But they get so much information now. I mean, look at the information we get that it's accessible for us to see now. Imagine a whole other level of that for coaches and what they're getting for these quarterbacks, wide receivers. You're looking at the corners, where the corners struggle, what areas of the field, which type of wide receivers they're struggling against.
The tendencies, like on third down and short, what the Jaguars do,
Or
third and long.
So that's why that's the importance of a Liam Coen and some of these young, innovative coaches, is they take those things and they make it unpredictable, or they show different looks. And so the defenses can't figure all of that out. And being able to have a coach, you almost, I don't ever want to like start taking advantage of Liam Coen, because obviously we've seen it here when you don't have play callers that work, or around the league in general. Some of the best quarterbacks, if the play caller's not right, it doesn't work. And so there's a lot of things that go into that.
Yeah, and I think on the flip side, I mean, if you can figure out the formations they run that out of, and if you're the backside safety and the guy to your side's doing something and you can see that dig coming, if you time it right, you can jump that thing, And again, if he holds it too long, that's where the backside safety comes into play. So throwing it on time is absolutely critical. But those are just the little things that they've got to work on and figure out and make sure that they don't show that tendency. You can't figure out what I'm throwing to dig. Listen, there's another play they love. You drive out the safety, you bring a deep crosser. How many times did they run that last year? Like all the time. You know what I mean? It felt like for a while there was like 5 pass plays that worked, and they always went to them, and they would do them in different formations, but they would be clearing that guy out and having a deep crosser, and normally he's wide open, so you'll probably see that, but they're going to figure that out too. So, again, I'm going back to like thinking like why he only let us in once a week. Because there are things you gotta tinker
not show
with.
Everybody,
and tinker with to make sure that because after a while you could figure out that one, where they're clearing out the guy coming across, and the team started figuring that out. So, that's part of the whole, you kind of caught people by surprise last year. You're not going to catch anybody by surprise. What do you have to combat that, offensively and defensively? So I think they will. They're smart guys.
Offensively, like we have said, there was so much newness last year that you'd think they're just going to be able to smoothly, confidently roll into training camp, preseason, and then the season. Defensively, I think is fascinating because there's a lot of new pieces there, right? Like as far as the secondary is concerned, as far as the linebackers are concerned, there's obviously new guys along the defensive line. It feels like to me for the offense, it's other than maybe Borkatur and Cozio, like everyone else. I know DCM's not here, but they're kind of running it back on offense. Defense, there's a lot of new personnel pieces there, so that will be interesting to see. Plus Campanile in his second year, what more can he do? Last year we knew they had to take the defense kind of more basic during the season, but now with the whole off season, it's exciting stuff. All right, golden moment awaits on the other side. Don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The Lead is your path to the weekend.
Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline and NFL columnist Ryan O'Halloran.
Fridays from 4 to 6 on 1010XL.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you, in this financial climate, or really any, it's never been more important to make your money work for you, which is why I'll recommend Mike McGuire and the wealth management team at South State Bank. Financial planning is based on trust, because it's so important. You can trust the South State team. They offer the best combination of sophisticated wealth management strategies with a truly personal approach. That will help you meet your financial goals. Stop by your local South State branch and ask them to connect you with Mike McGuire and the wealth management team. You'll be glad you did. South State Bank, member FDIC.
It's a Helmets and Heels Big Chief Tire Monday.
You trusted a medical professional with your care. When that trust is broken, the results can be devastating. Medical error can leave patients and families facing unanswered questions and lifelong challenges. Founded in Jacksonville, Edwards & Raggets helps you understand and protect your legal rights after medical negligence. No fees unless you recover damages. We're here to help. Call 904-INJURED or visit 904injured.com.
Edwards & Raggets, offices Jacksonville.
At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, care starts with listening, one-on-one consultations, clear answers, and a plan built around you. Our orthopedic surgeons, sports medicine physicians, and rehabilitation specialists work together to treat injuries, manage chronic pain, and restore strength and mobility. From your first check-in to your personalized treatment plan, everything is designed to help you move forward with confidence. Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville. Expert care, improving lives.
This Father's Day, get Dad on the water with Green Acres Sporting Goods. If he fishes in Northeast Florida, this is where he goes. Rods, reels, tackle, bait, and all the gear he actually uses. Not sure what to get Dad? Grab a Green Acres gift card in any amount and let him decide. Shop Father's Day at Green Acres Sporting Goods. In-store or online at greenacresporting.com.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Hey, poker players! The Poker Atlas Tour is coming to Best Bet St. Augustine, June 18th to the 28th. The Poker Atlas Tour features 7 events, including the $600 No Limit Hold'em title event with a $200,000 guaranteed prize pool. And event number 1, a $300 No Limit Hold'em with a $100,000 guarantee. For more details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey, it's Greg, and I'm now 4 weeks into my Awaken 180 journey to lose 40 pounds in 10 weeks, and I'm already down over 20 pounds. That's average 5 pounds a week. I'm eating real food, good food, and feeling satisfied. And yeah, people are noticing. I'm getting comments like, "You're looking slimmer," or "When's the last time you wore that shirt?" That feels pretty good. You know, some people ask, "Hey, are you taking the shots or pills or whatever?" But my doctor advised me about the potential long-term side effects and the commitment. You know, a shortcut was not the answer. I wanted a realistic solution that definitely works. A clear plan with an actual human coach so I'd learn the right way to lose weight quickly and safely and keep it off. And that's exactly what Awaken 180 has given me. A clear, easy plan to lose 40 pounds in 10 weeks. And I'm already halfway there. So look, if you're unsure or been putting it off or like me, just finding excuses, I'm proof that Awaken 180 works. How would you feel being down 20, 40, even 100 pounds? Make the choice. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
We have a little bit more information when it comes to the whole Sorsby Texas Tech situation. And now
I'm over it. I have to tell you, I'm over it.
The Big 12 now is pursuing legal action. They filed a lawsuit against Texas Tech. So more into what this is. I mean, you look at it and it's blatantly breaking rules. And so the conference is saying, why does he get to return and you're betting on your own school? And that's the thing. Yeah. I heard Denny Thompson talk about it earlier on XL Primetime in the sense of that's just crossing that line and where is the line going to happen. And we've talked about that part of it. But now obviously the Big 12 is aggravated enough, and I'm sure the NCAA as a whole, because they were trying to shut it down anyways, and then it went beyond that. So I'm sure the NCAA as a whole is frustrated, but obviously the Big 12, because this was one of the top guys when it comes to quarterbacks in the portal this year that people were going after, and you're blatantly breaking rules, and several of them over a period of time for a lot of money, and then you don't follow your own. You're always talking about the credibility of the game, and then you're going right against that. But again, it's not the NCAA. It's the judges that have now gone to this. So it's a little frustrating, but I feel like this is just going to continue on for who even knows now at this point.
If the kid couldn't spin it, he'd be gone. Like, you wouldn't even hear his name. Like, it's just because he can play football that you're going to let him slide by gambling on your own team. I mean, look, I don't care if you gamble, but you can't gamble on your own team. And
you can't gamble if you're a student athlete, though, also. Like, not just on your own team.
That's part of the rules,
Even if he didn't gamble on his own team, you're still gambling on sports.
Correct.
You can't do that until you finish playing.
And I don't want to. I saw I think it was the AD or somebody like
they've all-
pleading. The poor guy's been. I'm like, shut up. Like, if he couldn't play quarterback, you wouldn't even give a crap. You're like, hey, son. If he was your backup guard, be like, sorry, son, you're out of here. Like, you're a dumbass. You know what I mean? You want to gamble, you're out. Bye. But because you're the QB and you may help us win. Oh wait, feel bad for the kid. No, I don't feel bad for the kid. He's an idiot. He's got to take his medicine.
Yeah.
Go figure it out. Too bad. I'm sorry. Look, if he got hurt and couldn't play, and it was his last year, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. I mean, maybe you get a medical red shirt, maybe you don't. But at the end of the day, you put yourself in this position. You did it.
How can a judge who on a daily basis is assessing right and wrong? How can that
Not see
person
this?
say, okay,
You know why.
Yeah.
Got green all of a sudden for Texas Tech money.
That would be even beyond.
They're all Texas Tech grads.
Right, but that would be beyond worse if we found out that Texas Tech was paying the judge. Like, you think that could have happened?
I mean, I don't know.
I saw
it happens in the movies all the time, so movies depict real life all the time, right?
It's a Grisham novel now.
I heard one primetime we were talking about it. They were talking about his numbers in November. And so he's like 0-9 in November, all against Big 12 teams, Matt said. And 2 of them were ranked during that period of time. But 0-9 and through, I think it was like 11 touchdowns, 14 interceptions in that period of time. And outside of that, he has like 35 touchdowns, 5 picks. So all of a sudden, conveniently, November, you forget how to play football.
Yeah, right.
And like, even if you're not doing anything, now people are going to think you did because that is now attached to you're betting on your teams, you're betting on sports. And all of a sudden in November, you're throwing a ton of picks and you're losing a bunch of football games. Even if you're not, it's a bad look at this point in time because that's what you're now creating. People in their minds are going to be like, well, how do I know he wasn't shaving points here and there and trying to do something to get some extra money? No,
and
nobody
you won't
does.
know moving forward, no matter how much rehab, quote unquote, the kid's done. You can't trust him anymore. You can't trust that at all. I'm sorry. It's like when you cheat, forget it. You're cheating.
Yeah.
It's over. Smell you later.
I just don't know how we got here, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's now going to be people in college athletics who feel like they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like, because of the almighty dollar, and because somebody says
money, you think you're
somebody in a
above the law.
high power or powerful position says, yeah, you can play with the temporary injunction. It's insanity. Look, we probably didn't love NIL at the beginning, but we've all gotten used to that. We didn't love the transfer portal at the beginning, and maybe we've gotten a little bit more used to that. This is something that is so incredibly egregious that it's embarrassing to me, it's embarrassing for Texas Tech and then obviously the judge as well.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you let him play. I just don't know.
I'm hoping that he doesn't.
When do we teach a lesson?
Right.
You know, like it doesn't mean your career is over, by the way. If you're that good of a QB, no, you're going to miss out on your $4 million. Too bad.
Go play in the
You
NFL.
threw it away. I'm sorry. You had money. You gambled. You weren't supposed to gamble. It's against the rules. You broke them. You made your own bed. Now you got to sleep in it. And then you figure it out. Look, maybe next year you try out somewhere. Maybe you go the arena route. Go watch Underdog. Maybe Kurt Warner can get you all excited about, what he did in his career. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sorry. It's just you caused the problem yourself. You don't get another chance. No one can trust you. I don't know how any team's going to really trust. Maybe you should go over to Europe and find a European league to go play quarterback or something. But here's the reality. He's probably going to play at Texas Tech. He's probably going to get paid $4 million. And if somehow, some way, they'll figure out, well, little Jimmy, it's not fair if he can't earn that $4 million. Because it's not fair. You know how society is. A bunch of softies out there. Yeah. Look at him. Look at him. He's depressed. Well, yeah, he put himself in that depression. I'm sorry. Too bad.
And mental health with all this stuff is still valid. Like, you can talk about Brendan Sorsby is is maybe depressed or is struggling with his mental health. Like, you can talk about that. But that still doesn't change that the consequences are you can't play football at the collegiate level anymore.
You can separate those things.
And another, hopefully, judge is going to come to the plate and somehow, some way, and I'm obviously no lawyer here, but somehow, some way be able to overturn the temporary injunction and say, no, the Big 12 is not going to allow him to play college football.
I know this sounds terrible. I don't have much compassion for self-inflicted mental health problems. You're the one that created the problem. Yeah. Now you have mental health problems. Well, yeah, you do, because you screwed up what you had got going. Now you have to accept the punishment and move on and figure it out. Like this is life. right? And instead of bailing his ass out and saying it's okay, like a lot of people do out there for their children, you just bail them out every single time. They never learn nothing.
The lesson, yeah.
And then it's just not there. And look, I'm all for people playing, getting all that stuff, but that's a line you can't cross. And I'll go back to Pete Rose. You kept that guy out of the Hall of Fame for how long? For gambling, and all of a sudden you let it. Maybe it's not tit for tat, apples to apples, orange for, but it's still gambling in your sport and beyond. And you're just gonna let this kid come back because he's sad. Too freaking bad. I'm sorry. It's just too bad. But I'm sure I'm in the minority on that
Let's have a Texas judge, Longhorn judge decide on this one.
Exactly.
Yeah, Texas or Texas A&M. By the way, speaking of Texas, it's a 7-2. So the Alabama Crimson Tide did plate one run, 7-2 in the bottom of the fourth in that College World Series game. But yeah, I think we just solved the world. You can have forgiveness and compassion, but you also have to hold people accountable. At the end of the day, that's the bottom line. And they need to hold him accountable.
You just said it. So what's the precedent? You set a precedent.
Right.
You let this kid back in, you set a precedent. Now, any other kid out there can pretty much do whatever the heck he wants because he can get back in. As long as it's not, maybe domestic violence. That might, they're not going to let that pick in, hopefully, or that kind of thing.
We've seen murder before, and people are still playing after that.
That's true.
All right, one segment to go. We'll bring you today's Pest of the Day. On the other side, it's a Big Chief Tire Monday. Find them online at WeKeepJacksRollin.com. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Hey, Hicken here, folks. It's happening. It is happening. We're going fairway, lush, and green at the Hicken household for, topdressing.com. Treated my yard, and I'm telling you guys, another company cannot do what they do. They have the custom equipment, that secret mix. You can't buy it in the store. Heck, it takes a year to make. With topdressing.com, you're amending your soil, and it's thriving. Make your neighbors jealous. Get to topdressing.com today or call 888-850-1850 for your free estimate.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, locally owned First Coast business for nearly 20 years. Hurricane season is here. Don't wait for that first storm warning. Your fence is your first line of defense. Loose boards, weak posts, or damage can turn into big problems in high winds. Armstrong Fence Company handles repairs and builds from stadiums to your own backyard. Get a pre-storm fence check today. Call Armstrong Fence Company or search online. Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Helmets and heels.
It's a Big Chief Tire Monday. The local Jacksonville shop for fair prices and service you can trust.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
In the fight against Alzheimer's, now is the moment we've been waiting for. With new treatments emerging in the fight against Alzheimer's and dementia, now is the time for hope and action. Held in over 600 communities nationwide, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is the world's largest fundraiser for care, support, and research to fight the disease. So get out, get moving, and join the Walk to End Alzheimer's, November 7th, downtown Jacksonville. Join the movement at alz.org/Jacksonville.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This is former NFL quarterback David Garrard. If your knees have taken a beating and you're finally ready to do something about it, then let Southeast Orthopedic take a look. Come on, do your knees a favor.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Summer and fall registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus girls volleyball at UNF and Bishop Snyder. Fields and gyms all over the First Coast, including Fort Family Field. And the best thing is, I-9 Sports offers sports year-round, so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com, enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, Checkmate mascot and cultural ambassador.
Summer is a perfect time to have your garage floor coating installed. With our chemicals drying even faster in the warmer weather, it's a busy time for us, but we can still keep our prices surprisingly affordable.
And with 0% financing available, you can enjoy your floor now and pay for it later.
And Chester can enjoy his fancy British tea that I have to pay for.
I do enjoy a nice Darjeeling, Brendan, and the quality is important.
And at Checkmate, the highest quality is our minimum standard.
On flooring and tea.
Gorgeous garage floors?
Check. Perfect installation?
Check. Easy payment options that make your great new floor affordable? Checkmate.
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com. That's checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Dahl, Tom Amandas, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you on this Big Chief Tire Monday. One segment to go. Time now for today's Pest of the Day. Is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They do a fantastic job taking care of any pest issues that we have at our house. That means we don't have any. As well as ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. Honestly, the pest of the day could have been Brendan Sorsby related again, but we've done that quite a few times. But no, it's going to be the fact that we got the really sad news about Alden Smith over the weekend.
I read that.
Passed away in his 30s. I still have not seen a cause of death associated with it. I know he struggled his whole life.
He had some issues off the field. He was delivering pizzas to a homeless shelter in San Fran, and then they found him unresponsive in the car.
Right. So,
but what a shame.
So
man.
sad.
What a
Usually
shame.
that's some sort of like maybe
Who
cardiac
knows?
issue or something.
Could be. And I know he had some problem. What a player, though. I was looking back. I didn't.
Yeah, he was
19 and a half sacks his second year.
Yeah.
Like, holy moly. I almost I did forget. 14 as a rookie. Think about that. 33 and a half sacks.
Yeah, we take that this year.
2 years? Oh, man, you're hitting on that guy. But, yeah something went south. And I know he got in trouble with the league with substance abuse stuff.
Yeah, he was suspended on more than one occasion.
Such
But
a shame,
just
man.
36 years old.
I know. Gosh, so young.
Especially, too, when you've been in this business for a while, that doesn't seem like that long ago. Like 2000.
No, right.
Yeah. 11, 12 doesn't seem like that long ago.
No, it wasn't. It happens in a flash. But, man, 36, just
way too young.
Way too young. God bless his family.
Yeah, that would have been the
Wherever
year.
they are.
2011 was the year that Blaine Gabbert was drafted. Is that right?
Yeah, 11.
So they were in the same class together.
Yeah.
He was, man, what a player. What a player.
Blaine
No
obviously
doubt.
selected 10th overall in 2011. And then, yeah.
Yeah, remember when he went back to the Raiders? It looked like he had turned things around, and then I think it went south again or something.
Yeah, then he didn't play for a few years and then played for the Cowboys.
Now,
to
he's
finish
on
things
some
out. Yeah, he was on
podcast. I didn't
things.
listen to it, but they were talking about he's on some podcast. He was detailing his life, and he said he was broke. And I don't want to paraphrasing here, but he said he was broke and that he had issues or something. But I think there's a pod out there where he spoke just about everything that he kind of went through.
Yeah, I'm reading
prior to
his
death.
final interview from a recent barbershop visit was posted last week.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one I'm referring to, I think.
Well, I'm glad, I suppose, in a sense that they were able to get that interview done, so that way his family and friends
Can have it, yeah.
can have that. Yeah,
No
it looks
doubt,
like
get
it's
some closure,
3
man.
parts. That's about a half an hour.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, I'm sure well worth the time.
I was glancing real quick at that draft. Listen to some of the names that were coming out of that. Cam Newton was in that one. Von
Wow.
Miller, A.J. Green, Julio Jones, Alden Smith was in that one. J.J. Watt was in that draft. Robert Quinn was in that draft. Cam Jordan's in that draft.
Dang, that's a draft.
Cam
Holy
Hayward.
cow.
Yeah, talk about a first round.
Man. Unbelievable.
And the Jags got Blake Gabbert.
Yeah.
So that was
But
good
by
time.
the way, AJ Green was out at practice today working with the receivers.
Yeah,
So that
I
was
saw
cool to
that.
see. Yeah. All
I
right,
loved when Miles Jack went in. Remember when him and Ramsey went in? Miles was the first one in there. I gave him a pat on the back for that one.
That was a fun little skirmish. All right, let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hayes Carline joins us now. All right, Hayes, Friday night, United States wins. Saturday night, the Knicks win. Last night, the Hurricanes win. You've become a bit of a hockey fan. What night was your most favorite?
Friday night was unbelievable. And I'm a novice, but just to see the U.S., they were so athletic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't ever watch. But I mean, that was the thing that really jumped out to me is like, they're fast and quick and obviously well coordinated and things like that. But yeah, for a game that was expected to be like a coin flip kind of game, for them to be that dominant, boy, that would be phenomenal. I mean, that would be, that'd be obviously the story of the summer, but I mean, one of the stories of, if they can get hot, which if they made like the quarterfinals, that would be like remarkable, right?
Sure.
And that would take us obviously almost right up to training camp, which would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
That's how we view everything.
Give us distractions.
But it was, to me, it was cool seeing the Knicks win. I'm not a Knicks fan, but, obviously something that hasn't happened in 53 years. Yeah. Very cool for them. And, and the hockey's been great. I've gotten to the point, like when it gets to the conference finals, that's probably when I'll start paying attention because I do enjoy watching. I don't really know the sport that much, but just the athleticism and the stuff that they can do with that. Yeah, it's
And
it's
the
pretty
injuries
crazy.
that they sustain and then come right back in.
That was amazing.
The guy's nose fell off.
I mean, literally, like it was like it was unreal that he came back for the next game.
He's
but,
got a neck slice, but he'll be fine.
I got to imagine, like now that the season's over, they're like doing a
facelift.
Something, probably going back in.
Reconstructive work.
But yeah, so Frank's on vacation, but Hacker kind enough to join us today and through Thursday. So we're certainly looking forward to that. I had a chance to catch up with Foye Oluwakan after practice today. He had 11 PBUs last season, which really jumped out to me. When I was getting ready to interview him, and a career high, and really by a mile. And so a lot of the interview was about his pass defense coming along, but some great overall comments from Foye. So we'll play that, and we'll certainly break down NBA Finals and certainly U.S. Soccer. Peek ahead to Friday, which will be a lot of fun, and looking forward to it. You kind of get a feeling as a sports fan. You kind of got this feeling about the Knicks, like. I mean, they weren't. It was like magical. Yeah, like they have some sort of chemistry there that you just can't define. And it's one game, I get it, but considering that the opponent was pretty good, boy, they look great. So yeah, all that coming up on the Frangie Show.
Yeah, on Friday we had JJ join us for about the first 45 minutes of the show, and we told everybody, all right, it's going to be a very defensive game. Like if the United States wins 1-0, like that's going to be great. And then the score within the first 7 minutes, I was like, okay, thank you, Mauricio Pochettino, for transforming this soccer team.
Yeah, he's the Liam Coen of soccer.
Right. Absolutely. All right, thank you, Hayes. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking, and we will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show with Hayes and Hacker, while Franks and Banff is up next.
Over you.